Let's get started. Welcome to this webinar. This is regarding Pune AI Community, PAIC's Mentorship and Collaboration Scheme. The idea is to give information about what this scheme is all about and discuss a couple of projects which we have started working on. This initiative is driven by Pune AI Community. It is specifically developer oriented. It is project based, hands-on, mentorship and collaboration, meaning there are a couple of leads in the PAIC team, Pune AI community team, who can act as leads and they can mentor those who want to work on those projects. Plus, some people, if they want to collaborate, add new functionality, add new projects, that is also encouraged. The main theme of most of the projects here, of course, all are AI related. AI meaning machine learning, deep learning, the new age large language models, transformers, Gen AI, those broadly, that's the umbrella. Specifically, some approaches like RAG, retrieval augmented generation, RAG on knowledge graphs, generative AI, large language models, and a unique domain, AI for geometry. And these are some of the projects I'll be discussing. Important note, this is a non-monetary initiative, meaning I or we don't pay, you don't pay. This is all voluntary. By the way, all the projects that I'll be discussing now on are open source. They're non-commercial in the nature. So whatever I have developed so far and whatever you will be contributing will be on all open source. So nothing commercial per se. And this is obviously unpaid. After this, after your submissions and all, there is of course no job guarantee or internship guarantee. This is not a formal program. This is an informal program. And contributions, of course, are via PRs, pull request on specific GitHub repositories. Another important note is that you have to be a reasonably good developer to contribute, because we won't be doing training in this initiative, meaning no hand holding per se. So you have to develop some expertise level yourself first, then contribute. So this is for a little bit of uh, expert people, not expert, at least senior people who can contribute directly. Here we will just discuss high level ideas and then we can get to contribution. Of course, once we have some module, some functionality developed, you with us or you independently can give talks on this topic, because everything is open source anyway. You can publish your research paper on your own or with co-authoring with us. That's completely open. How to join? You can send email to this email address, yogeshkulkarni@yahoo.com, with CC to puneaicommunity@gmail.com with the subject line AI mentoring. And then, of course, in the mail, you can give mention something about yourself, your GitHub profile, and some work somewhat related to what we have been doing. Okay, if you can mention that, that would be easy. Then what I will do, I will add you to this Google chat group called PAIC Mentoring. In that, all the mentees, those who have shown their interest, they have been already added so far. Here is the Pune AI Community's LinkedIn page. When you type puneaicommunity.org, that gets redirected to this page. All of you, whoever are interested, do follow this page. I keep on posting about community collaborations, new initiatives, new collaboration projects like this here itself. All right. So this is the chat group I was mentioning. These are the projects I've mentioned, and quite some people have already joined. If you can see here, This is my GitHub repository, Yogesh HK, and these are the repos. Okay, this is the initial information. These are the repositories, and we will discuss some of the projects now. One is Ask Yoga Sutra. GitHub link is shown here. All the projects are under my GitHub handle, Yogesh HK. And this is a very specific project because it's a little complex project. Let me just show you. By the way, many of you may be aware. So there is a old Indian knowledge system text, ancient text called Yoga Sutra by Patanjali. The speciality of this text is, let me show you that. Okay. Okay. Now we will talk about specifically Ask Yoga Sutra. Okay. As I said, this is actually the idea is Yoga Sutra, although it is a Sanskrit text, its commentary in English, commentaries in English are available. And idea is to build a chatbot, RAG chatbot, based on the text of Yoga Sutra. Now there is some speciality of this text. I'll explain that. It is just not list of verses, okay, one by one. They have some interrelationship, okay. Those who are familiar with Sanskrit or little bit of yoga, it would be a good project. But those who are familiar with RAG techniques, graph RAG techniques, this is also a good thing. Nothing specific to Sanskrit as such, but if you know, that's better. Maybe I'll show you one example why this project is little challenging and then challenging meaning complex also. Can you all see the graph that I'm showing here? Wonderful. So in Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, there are 4 chapters. They are called Pada. First one is Samadhi Pada. I'll just give you some sense why this is challenging. This is Prathamo Adhyaya. Patanjali starts directly saying, let's start yoga. Let's start Atha Yoganushasana. Let's start discipline of yoga. Next verse itself, he gives the definition. No introduction, no background, nothing. Yoga means Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Bear with me, I'll explain why this is a little graph like, okay? Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha, meaning cessation, separation of vrittis, the disturbances in mind is called yoga, okay? That's the idea. Now the funny part is, okay, this is 1.2, right? Then he says,
excuse me, sir, your screen
if you
is not
see, there
showing.
is a 5th chapter, 5th verse. He has mentioned vritti here, right? Vritti meaning disturbances or whirlpools, some thought patterns in mind. The idea of yoga is to suppress them, become sort of thoughtless. Okay, thoughtless is not the good word, but still thoughtless. All right. All right. So if you see Yogesh Chitta Vritti Nirodha, now he gives definition of vritti in this thing. Definition meaning actually types. Vrittaya, Panchataya, Klishta, Klishta. There are 5 types of vrittis, meaning disturbances. Some are Klishta, some are Aklishta. Okay. Then he gives all these 5 vrittis here itself. Pramana, Viparya, Vikalpa, Nidra, Smrutaya. Then Pramana is explained here in the 7th one. What is Pramana? Pratyakshanu ma na gamaha pramanani. Pratyaksha anumana agamaha iti pramanani. So if you can see, this is just not list of verses one by one. Some are elaborating the previous verse, some are defining the previous verse. So there is a relationship. So this relationship is very suitable to computer science graph or network. So the idea is if somebody asks, what is vritti, okay, in a chatbot. It's not like only one thing has to be given. What is the specialty of graph rack retrieval augmented generation, not on the linear vector store, but graph vector store, is that not only it just gets the real words, but the neighbors of it. So here, if this is the one, then it will try to get the neighbors also in the context, also in the prompt, so that the answer becomes more holistic. I hope the idea is clear. So such graph of all path, all chapters is available, and that thing will be leveraged in this Yoga Sutra. Okay, this graph is available in the JSON format, and now we want to build um, a chatbot on top of it. There are a couple of phases in this project. Of course, one is just visualization, whatever the graph is. So there are 195 sutras across 4 chapters, about 50 each, 50, 55 sort of. And then there are graphs available. And there are, of course, nodes, meaning verses, and edges if there is a connection between two verses. So this is the graph. So phase one could be just visualize. There was one person who worked with me, and he has already developed a visualization to a basic level that can be improved, that can be made interactive. That is currently in Streamlit only. We can probably take it to Neo4j or something. So there are many things possible here. Visualization is one thing that is possible. And then, of course, graph rack chatbot. So these are the two phases one can work on. Yeah. So this is Ask Yoga Sutra project. So this is AI system to explore Yoga Sutra of Patanjali. It is a knowledge graph, sutras as node and relationship as ages. We can build visualization, we can build graph rack powered chatbot for Q&A. And it is not a trivial project because currently we may do vectorization embedding of the English commentaries of it. But later, if we can get Indic LLMs, local Indian language LLMs, we can try even the Sanskrit vectorization. So these are the skills typically useful for this project, and this is what we focus on. This is definitely some good potential to publish a research paper because I sort of know that there's not much work done on at this level on Yoga Sutras, at least on the LLM side of Yoga Sutra. MidcurveNN neural network or LLM large language model is another project. This is the URL. This happens to be a subtopic of my own doctoral work called mid-surface. Mid-surface is the surface between two surfaces, the middle surface of the given two input surfaces. Mid-curve is nothing but a curve in the middle of a profile. I'll show you one example. Okay, so this is a neural network, deep learning based mid-curve generation project of closed polygons. I'll show you the examples also. So there are two ways, actually, there are the three ways of solving this problem. Pure geometry, dimension reduction, geometry translation, profile and a mid-curve. Another one is to take images of them and do pix-to-pix kind of networks, convolution neural networks or simple encoder-decoder networks. Another one is to convert the geometry into language in JSON format and then do language to language, like a machine translation, English to French kind of thing. So all three approaches are possible. The first one is very, very difficult. I've not seen ready solution, but the second and third one is sort of implementable. Basic implementation is already available, but of course we can improve. So I'll show you that project. All right, midcurveNN, midcurve neural network, midcurve by neural network. So what is midcurve? If this is the shape, its midcurve is in the middle. Okay. So these are actually the results of simple encoder decoder based image based neural network. Okay. So this is how it is. It's again a research potential project. Not many approaches are currently available. And this is LLM representation or text representation of the geometry, which can be used for fine tuning geometry data. So these are the two things. By the way, I've given quite a few talks on this topic, and those talks and other things, papers are available here for you to see. So both MidcurveNN, thereby I say image to image, and MidcurveLLM is language to language, meaning text to text fine tuning using LLMs. So next project is mining resume. Repos link is shown here. This is relatively of course, this is a not trivial project, but easy to understand kind of project. So given a resume, can we extract important fields, meaning education related data, work experience related data, the skills, C++, Java, whatever. All these things can be extracted from resume. This itself is a non-trivial task because resumes come in different formats, right? Some are Word, some are PDF, some are image PDF, some are text. So understanding formats and extracting some specific entities itself could be non-trivial, challenging. Once that is done, we can build a graph of it because say in company one, I did Java and C++. So company one node of company type and then skills type Java and C++. Those nodes can be connected. Why this is helpful? Because then if somebody asks, say HR person asks, so we have to build chatbot on top of this knowledge graph, knowledge base. Okay. Give me all people with C++ experience and who have studied probably from IIT Bombay, right? Something of that sort. So not only direct node would be fetched, but the associated node, the related nodes can also be fetched for a better question answering. These are some of the skills needed. So parsing itself is challenging, then building knowledge graph, and then doing Q&A on knowledge graph. Later, of course, one can build job and resume matching kind of functionality on top of it also. So let me just see how the repo looks. This is the repository. Some basic implementation, regex-based implementation is already there, but of course, regex-based, regular expressions-based is a little simpler and not good enough. So we can build a lot of LLM-based functionalities, VLM-based functionalities on top of it. So that's the idea. This is the one. Yeah. Another repository, which is a very big repository called Sarvajna. Sarvajna is this all-knowing kind of RAG system, Retrieval Augmented Generation System. This is the repository. These are this is a collection actually of many RAG implementations. I'll show you the repo. Some are doing RAG on PDS, some are doing on PPT, some are finance related, some are history related. Very different types are available. This was basically meant to be little educational, more educational than showing or solving a problem as such. So different types of RAG systems are there. People can improve the current ones or add a new type, right? I'll show you the repository. Sarvajna. Lot of people. So mining resumes could be one good starting point if no complexity is needed, meaning understanding which complexity is needed. Another one is, of course, Sarvajna. Relatively simpler RAG systems can be developed here. Okay, I'll show you what kind of RAG basic academic RAGs are already available. If you can see, these are the ones which are already implemented to an extent, but of course this can be improved. These are all proof of concepts and nothing is production grade as you can easily imagine. All right. Another repository, The Nature of Code. This is a wonderful book. And I've said Nature of Code dash Python because the original implementation is in Java. Okay. And this is a Python port translation of it. So Python implementation. This is actually a book. I think it's publicly available, but there is a YouTube playlist by the author of this person, by the author of this book called The Nature of Code. So the idea is, can we build graphics to do physics simulation? Meaning, if there is water or some liquid, and if a ball is dropped, it will go to certain velocity, and later, because of the drag coefficient, it will, or viscosity of the liquid, it will go slow, right? So such kind of physics related formulation, implementation with wonderful graphics is done using just Python. Okay. And later, of course, initially it is all rule based, equation based, but later there are some tutorials on machine learning also. So this is actually good educational tool per se to learn Python, learn ML, and it has been little gamified also. It looks very nice. So let me show you its repository, The Nature of Code. There's a YouTube playlist, and then how I've translated the Python ones, the Java implementation to Python. So that's the repository. All right. There is one more which I did. This is a very recent one. I myself have not really contributed much here. This repository is called Sadrusha. It's basically for spatial AI, space-related AI. Space-related meaning the space around us, not the space exploration type, but basically image processing for 2D pictures and 3D world also. So idea of this, starting this repository, is to work on image processing and 3D. In 3D, in images, the unit is called as pixel, but in 3D, the unit is called as voxel, VOXEL. So working on 2D images as well as 3D voxels or something related to 3D will be developed here. So there is a lot of scope to work on this if you have new ideas, if you've already worked on this. The current one that I'm thinking about is what is called as 3D reconstruction, meaning given set of images, can we build a 3D model out of it? Like if I'm standing here and there are 30, 40 pictures of mine taken, when we supply this to a system, this is called as photogrammetry system, then it constructs a 3D mesh model out of it. So that's the problem. This is again very research oriented. This is all nowadays done by Gen AI or VLMs or LLMs, VLMs primarily, visual language models. So that's the theme of this. So quite a quite a lot of information is given here. I myself am working on this, or rather learning this, and wish to develop some expertise in this. So these were the projects. These are some whereabouts about this Pune AI community. And these are some of the QR codes. So we are there on LinkedIn and on Medium blogs, YouTube playlist, most of the handles. So I suggest you to join this website. You'll be taken to the LinkedIn page, follow it. And then if you're interested, You can send email to me, as I said, yogeshkulkarni@yahoo.com, plus this, and then plus this. And then if you're interested, you can join the PAIC MACS initiative. Now I'll take up the questions.